My name is Helen Thompson, and at 75, I finally decided it was time to stop hiding. People always assumed I was just a simple widow scraping by on a pension. I let them think that. My little one-bedroom apartment in the Seattle suburbs, the old 1998 Honda Civic that barely starts on rainy mornings, the thrift store clothes, the part-time volunteering at the library. None of it was an accident. It was a choice my late husband George and I made decades ago. Quiet wealth invites trouble, he used to say with that quiet smile of his. Better to be underestimated than envied. So we lived modestly, even after his early investment in a tiny company called Microsoft turned into something no one could have dreamed of. $2 billion. That's what those shares are worth today. George bought them in 1978 with almost everything we had. He passed in 2010, and I kept the secret, just as he wanted. I didn't need the money to live well. I needed the peace that came with being invisible. But there was one person I couldn't stay invisible to forever. My son, Marcus. Marcus is 48 now, handsome, ambitious, always chasing the next big thing in tech. He started a company called Innovatech Solutions, something about AI for businesses. I was proud of him, at first. Then came Lila, his wife. Beautiful, sharp, and hungry in a way that made my stomach twist the moment I met her. They lived large. Downtown condo, designer everything, vacations I only saw on their Instagram. And every time the money ran short, Marcus would call. "Things are tight, Mom. Just need a little bridge funding." I'd quietly send it. Anonymous trusts disguised as investors or grants. Over 5 years, I gave them $8.5 million. I told myself it was helping my only child. I told myself it was temporary. I was wrong. It started with gentle suggestions. "Mom, your apartment is too big for one person. At your age, stairs are dangerous. Have you thought about a retirement community?" I smiled and changed the subject, but the suggestions turned into pressure. Brochures left on my coffee table, real estate agents showing up unannounced, comments about my outdated clothes, my unsafe car, my pointless library job. Lila's voice was always the sweetest when it hurt the most. "We're just worried about you, Helen." The night it all broke was Christmas Eve 2025. They invited me to their condo for dinner. 12 guests, catered food, champagne flowing. I brought homemade gifts, wore my best dress, and tried to feel like I belonged. Marcus was boasting about Innotech's latest funding round. Lila, a little too much wine in her, turned to me with that fake concerned smile. "Helen, have you reconsidered that retirement home? It's really the responsible choice at your age." I said I was happy where I was. She laughed, actually laughed. "Happy? In that run-down place? You're being selfish, hoarding an apartment you don't even need. Marcus works so hard, and you just sit there. Give us the keys. It's time." The room went dead silent, every guest staring. Marcus wouldn't meet my eyes. My cheeks burned hotter than I can describe. I excused myself, walked to the hallway, and called the one person who knew everything, my financial advisor, James Reynolds. "James," I said, voice shaking but steady, "it's time. Bring the documents. All of them." When James arrived 20 minutes later, the mood in the room shifted. I stood up, looked at my son and his wife, and spoke the words I'd kept buried for 15 years. "George invested in Microsoft in 1978. Those shares are worth over $2 billion today. I've lived simply because that's what we chose. But what you don't know, what no one here knows, is that I've been the one keeping your life afloat, Marcus. Every investor who saved Inotech? Me. Your mortgage, your cars, your vacations? Me. I watched the color drain from their faces as James laid out the statements. $8.5 million in transfers. All stopped, effective immediately. Lila screamed that I was lying, that no one with money would live like I did. Marcus just stared, mouth open, finally understanding how much he'd taken for granted. I told them the apartment was staying mine, that my will had been changed, everything now going to charity, and then I walked out. The months that followed were hard, but they were mine. Marcus and Lila lost the condo. Inotech collapsed. They sued me, claiming I was incompetent, that the money should be family property. The judge threw it out and fined them for wasting the court's time. Their story went viral. People love a good entitled kids get reality check tale. I didn't love it, but I used it. I started the George Thompson Tech Education Foundation. Scholarships for kids who can't afford coding camps, classes for seniors who want to learn computers, grants for ethical AI research, the kind George would have believed in. It's grown faster than I ever imagined. I speak at events now, travel a little, mentor young women in tech. I still drive my old Honda and shop at thrift stores, but now it's truly by choice, not disguise. Marcus and Leela lost the condo. Innovatech collapsed. They sued me, claiming I was incompetent, that the money should be family property. The judge threw it out and fined them for wasting the court's time. Their story went viral. People love a good entitled kids get reality check tale. I didn't love it, but I used it. I started the George Thompson Tech Education Foundation. Scholarships for kids who can't afford coding camps. Classes for seniors who want to learn computers. Grants for ethical AI research, the kind George would have believed in. It's grown faster than I ever imagined. I speak at events now, travel a little, mentor young women in tech. I still drive my old Honda and shop at thrift stores, but now it's truly by choice, not disguise. Marcus reached out once, about a year later. He looked smaller, older. Mom, I was wrong. I let ambition blind me. I'm sorry. I forgave him. Forgiveness isn't the same as forgetting, though. He volunteers at the foundation now, teaching kids to code. We're rebuilding, slowly, carefully. Leela? I haven't heard from her since the divorce. Sometimes people ask if I regret revealing everything that night, if I wish I'd kept the secret and the peace. No, I don't. For the first time in decades, I'm not hiding. I'm not apologizing for taking up space. I'm not shrinking so others can feel bigger. I'm 77 now, and I've never felt more myself. If you're reading this and someone's making you feel small, guilty, or selfish for protecting what's yours, your home, your money, your dignity, remember me. Remember that kindness isn't weakness, that boundaries aren't cruelty, and that sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one holding the most power. You don't have to stay invisible. You just have to decide when it's time to be seen.